Are you prepared for a power outage? When the lights go out, do you know how much energy you truly need to keep your household running? In this video, we'll break down everything you need to know about power requirements during a blackout. From essential devices to backup solutions, we'll help you calculate how much energy is required to stay comfortable, safe, and connected. Whether you're considering a generator, solar backup system, or other energy options, this guide will ensure you make the right choices. Don't wait for the next blackout. Find out how prepared you really are. Power needs for short-term blackouts, 1 to 3 days. 1. Survival versus comfort. Surviving without power is not the hard part. You can go without electricity and still live. The real challenge is maintaining your sanity and comfort in the chaos. When the power goes out for an extended period, it's not just about keeping yourself alive, it's about making the experience bearable. Days turn into weeks quickly when boredom and frustration set in. Without proper preparation, basic routines like cooking, staying warm, and even staying entertained become monumental struggles. You need to start with the basics: food, water, and shelter. Stock up on non-perishable food that doesn't require cooking, such as canned goods, dried fruits, and nuts. Make sure you have enough water stored for drinking, cooking, and hygiene. A gallon per person per day is a good rule of thumb. When it comes to staying warm, think layers, heavy blankets, and sleeping bags designed for cold weather. Even if you live somewhere warm, nights can chill fast in a powerless world. Comfort goes a long way in a disaster. Have items that distract you from the situation, whether it's a deck of cards, books, or board games. Mental well-being is just as important as physical survival. You don't want to be a miserable wreck when you're already dealing with the stress of a power outage of historic proportions. Comfort gives you the motivation to push through and keeps morale high for everyone else in your household. 2. Devices to keep charged. Your lifeline in a massive power outage is your set of charged devices. Don't underestimate this. First and foremost, keep your cell phone operational. It's not just for communication, but also for accessing essential information during a crisis. News updates about outages, weather alerts, and emergency instructions will flow straight to your phone. Throw in tethering, and a charged phone doubles as a portable hotspot for keeping laptops or tablets online temporarily. Speaking of laptops and tablets, these aren't just gadgets, they're tools. A laptop, if charged, becomes your hub for critical tasks, financial planning, or keeping track of schedules. Tablets are versatile too, offering a balance of communication, entertainment, and even access to ebooks. And don't forget your Kindle or ebook readers. Those things will keep you reading for weeks on a single charge, helping stave off boredom. Whatever devices you prioritize, make sure you've got a plan for keeping them functional beyond their initial charge. Invest in portable power banks and solar chargers. A high-capacity power bank can juice up your phone multiple times, while solar chargers give you a renewable energy source if you're without power for longer than expected. Also, using your devices sparingly during outages is key. That means keeping them in low power mode, disabling non-essential apps, and turning them off entirely when not in use. Remember, once that battery dies, you're cut off. 3. Battery-powered devices. Batteries are going to be gold when the power shuts down. If you don't have a stockpile of AA, AAA, C, and D batteries, you're already behind. Every functioning flashlight, battery-powered radio, lantern, and even your small everyday devices, like remote controls, will depend on these. Once the house goes dark, you'll be grateful for that oddly practical flashlight you always thought of as mundane, until now. Lights and lanterns are your go-to for lighting. Forget candles, they're a fire hazard waiting to happen. Modern LED lanterns run on simple batteries and last for hours. Get multiple types: clip-on lights, handheld flashlights, and headlamps. A headlamp is especially useful when you need both hands free. For a larger radius, larger battery-powered lanterns can serve as stand-ins for room lights. Don't skip battery-powered radios. These can tune into emergency broadcasts, updates, and even morale-boosting music stations. A silent house in a power outage is depressing. Having some sound, even an AM radio station, keeps you connected with the outside world. For weather outages, a battery-operated NOAA weather radio is essential to keep up with storm warnings and safety advisories. Lastly, think long-term. Chargeable batteries are a strategic buy, especially if you've got a solar-powered recharger to pair with them. The last thing you'll want is to blow through your battery stash and be left with dead devices. Always keep extras, hoard them like treasure. When others are scrambling to find one working flashlight or burning through candles, you'll be set for days or even weeks. 4. Lighting. When the biggest power outage in history hits, the last thing you want is to stumble around in darkness. Forget fancy light fixtures, this is survival. Stock up on LED lanterns. They're bright, efficient, and last far longer than regular flashlights. Rechargeable LED options combined with a portable power bank are absolute necessities. Headlamps are another must-have. No hands? No problem. Don't underestimate the power of low-tech solutions like candles and solar lamps too. Solar-powered lights charge during the day and keep you out of pitch-black chaos when the sun sets. Plan for redundancy here. More light sources mean fewer headaches later. 5. Heating and cooling. Extreme temperatures will affect everyone during a prolonged blackout. There's no escaping the weather. To stay warm, buddy heaters are your best bet. These compact propane heaters can last around 5 hours on a low setting with a 1-pound propane canister. Keep as many canisters as you can store and don't expect others to share. For cooling, USB or rechargeable fans are your go-to option. Whether it's blistering summer heat or freezing cold, these devices will keep you functional. Be sure you've thought through fuel and power sources before things go south. Comfort becomes survival real fast when the power's out. 6. Refrigeration. Refrigeration is one of the first luxuries to go in a blackout. Without power, anything in that fridge or freezer starts to spoil quickly. Minimize how often you open it. Keep cold air in for as long as possible. Simple fixes like cooler bags and ice packs can buy you more time. For a more sustainable solution, use a car inverter to power your refrigerator for short periods. 30 minutes a couple of times a day is enough to maintain a safe temperature. Just don't expect total convenience. Your priority is keeping essentials like milk, meat, and medicine cold, not indulging in ice cream. 7. Power sources. When the grid fails, you'll need individual backup power sources to avoid total helplessness. Small power stations, typically ranked between 250 and 500 watt-hours, are essential for keeping critical devices like CPAP machines, portable radios, and laptops running. These stations have enough juice for basic AC power needs without relying on your car. For smaller essentials, power banks are non-negotiable. You'll want one with at least 10,000 mAh capacity to keep your phone charged for emergencies. Have several and keep them charged at all times. Solar chargers can also help to replenish these resources, but don't bank on sunny skies. Preparation is key. Categorize your devices by power requirement and be ruthless in prioritizing what you keep running. Power needs for medium-term blackouts, 1 week or more. 1. Expanded preparations. For most people, preparing for disruptions starts and ends with maybe a couple of flashlights and some bottled water. That's rookie-level thinking. If you're serious about surviving in the chaos of a prolonged blackout, you need to step up your game. Start by thinking bigger. A few granola bars and a gallon of water won't cut it when there's no power for days, weeks, or longer. Build out your supplies to cover weeks, not days. Have a reliable source of clean drinking water. Stockpile things like water purification tablets, filtration systems, and extra containers to store water in case your usual sources dry up. Food is the next vital resource. Shelf-stable items like canned goods, rice, pasta, and freeze-dried meals will be your lifeline. Aim for at least 3 months of non-perishable food, and don't forget a manual can opener. Unless you feel like smashing cans open with a rock. Tools will become your new best friends. Invest in essentials like a multi-tool or Swiss Army knife, a quality hatchet, duct tape, rope, and a sturdy shovel. You may laugh at the idea of needing these things now, but when everything is broken and no one is coming to fix it, you'll thank yourself for having them. Consider a portable camping stove or rocket stove alongside a hefty propane supply to cook your food when the power grid fails. And don't overlook personal items like blankets, sturdy boots, gloves, and even a simple first aid kit. These are the things that bridge the gap between discomfort and actual survival. 2. Battery stockpiling. Forget about relying on your phone or laptop once the grid goes down. Your tech won't help you if the battery dies and there's nowhere to charge it. But batteries? Batteries will save the day, if you're smart about it. Here's the deal. You need a serious stockpile. Think 50 to 100 disposable batteries at minimum, and don't cheap out. Get a variety of sizes because your flashlights, radios, and other gear aren't all going to run on AA's. Consider alkaline, lithium, and long-lasting types so you're covered for any device you might need to use. Even better, step into the rechargeable battery game. You know those Eneloop rechargeable batteries everyone raves about? There's a reason for that. These things last longer, hold their charge, and can be reused hundreds of times. But here's the catch. Not all rechargeable batteries and chargers are created equal. Buy quality, and for the love of planning, test them ahead of time. The last thing you want to do is break open that charger in the middle of the apocalypse only to find out it doesn't even work. Solar-powered chargers for rechargeable batteries are a must. When the power's out indefinitely, forget about plugging into your wall socket. Those little solar panels might not look like much, but they'll keep your batteries alive and functioning. And you're going to need that because radios, emergency lights, and other survival tools are useless without power. Don't assume you'll luck into working batteries when it matters most. Stockpile now or regret it later. 3. Lighting options. Once night falls during a blackout, you'll be engulfed in pitch-black darkness. Humans are helpless without light, and that's a weakness you can't afford. Electricity isn't guaranteed, so you need alternate lighting options that don't rely on the grid. However, you must also think smart about how and when you use them. Lighting up your home or yard like a Christmas tree isn't just wasteful, it makes you a target. Desperation breeds bad decisions, and if your neighbors see your place lit up like Times Square while they stumble around in the dark, guess whose supplies they're going to come for? Start with solar yard lights. What's great about these is they charge during the day and can provide enough light at night without draining your resources. They're discreet, portable, and reliable. Every home should have at least a dozen of these on standby. Then there are oil lanterns. These aren't just quaint antiques from your grandparents' era. They're incredibly functional and provide long-lasting light with the added benefit of not burning through batteries. Make sure you have plenty of fuel stored safely to run them, too. Candles are another effective option. They're inexpensive, simple to use, and readily available. Stock up now because when the blackout hits, they'll vanish from stores almost immediately. But here's the thing about candles and lanterns. You can't be careless. Open flames are a safety risk if you're not used to them, so ensure you've got fire extinguishers handy in case of accidents. The key to lighting during a prolonged outage is subtlety and efficiency. Keep it low and functional. Don't broadcast to the world that your place is fully stocked while everyone else is struggling. Use blackout curtains or heavy blankets to cover windows so light doesn't spill outside. And only keep lights on in the rooms you're actively using. Being smart about light management could be the difference between peacefully riding out the blackout or fending off a mob at your door. 4. Water supply. Water is one of the most critical resources for survival during any power outage, particularly one of catastrophic proportions. Plan to secure access to clean, potable water for at least several weeks or more. Without power, your water supply system will likely fail, and filtration systems may also become inoperative. Relying on your home plumbing is a dangerous gamble in this scenario. Invest in large, food-grade water storage containers or barrels and ensure they are filled in advance. A family of 4 will likely need at least 100 gallons of drinking water for basic survival needs, as a rule of thumb. Include additional water supplies for sanitation, cooking, and any essential household tasks. To maintain water quality over time, include water purification drops or filters as a non-negotiable part of your preparedness gear. Options like portable LifeStraw filters and countertop Berkey systems should be ready for use. Additionally, rainwater catchment systems can be life-saving if properly set up in advance. While rainwater is often overlooked, it can serve as an invaluable backup source. Just ensure it's treated before consumption. 5. Communication. When the power grid goes dark, so do most traditional forms of communication. Internet service, cell phone towers, and landline phones may no longer function. You need reliable, low-tech solutions to stay informed and keep in touch during widespread outages. First, invest in battery-operated or hand-crank emergency radios to monitor weather changes, government updates, and critical safety information. NOAA radios are a solid choice to remain up-to-date on alerts. Additionally, a two-way radio system, such as ham radios or GMRS units, can be a lifesaver for staying in contact with nearby family members or a survival network. Make sure everyone in your group knows how to operate them effectively. Unlike modern tech, these devices don't rely on internet or cell service, which makes them far more reliable under such circumstances. Avoid dependence on high-tech equipment that might glitch or fail. Keep your communication plans straightforward and practical. Batteries are another critical consideration. Always have spares in large quantities or rechargeable options powered by portable solar systems. Keep in mind that information is power during a crisis. With the right tools, you can stay one step ahead and protect your loved ones. 6. Refrigeration. Food preservation will be one of your biggest challenges during a prolonged blackout. Refrigerators and freezers powered by the grid will inevitably stop working, and without proper planning, all perishable food will be lost. To avoid this, switch to energy-efficient refrigeration solutions like DC-powered refrigerators, such as the ISCO APL55. These models consume far less energy than traditional appliances, reducing strain on your backup power systems. A DC refrigerator typically uses only 250-300 watt-hours per day, making it a practical choice during a power outage. Since electricity will be extremely limited, prioritize storing only essential and sensitive items in the refrigerator. This includes medications like insulin, which require cold storage to remain effective. For storing other cold or frozen goods, consider investing in a high-quality cooler packed with ice, designed for long-term use. Proper planning and prioritization of refrigeration needs can make the difference between riding out the crisis comfortably versus struggling to preserve vital resources. 7. Power storage. Your survival ultimately depends on having sufficient power storage. Forget hoping for external solutions. Self-reliance is the name of the game here. You should have at least 2 kilowatt-hours of stored power available as a minimum. This can be achieved using power banks, solar generators, and more advanced battery systems like LiFePO4 batteries, which are reliable and designed for long-term storage. LiFePO4 batteries are particularly durable and have an excellent lifespan compared to other types. Also, invest in solar panels to replenish your energy supply. Solar panels, rated at 300 watts each, can provide between 1,000 and 1,500 watt-hours of power daily in the right conditions. This input is your best bet for sustainable off-grid energy. However, solar panels can't perform at peak efficiency during cloudy weather or at night. That's why you should also have a high-quality, fuel-driven generator as a backup, especially for emergencies. Ensure the generator is well maintained and fueled in advance. Compressed gas or gasoline are your best options, depending on the model. Power management is critical. Limit usage to essential activities only. Overestimating available energy could leave you stranded, so calculate and monitor your energy consumption constantly. Success demands discipline, preparedness, and consistent energy budgeting. Long-term blackouts, months to a year or more. 1. Energy alternatives. When preparing for the biggest power outage in history, energy alternatives become the backbone of survival. Solar panels, wind turbines, and hydropower systems provide renewable energy options, but these technologies require a considerable upfront investment and thorough understanding to operate effectively. Solar panels are most practical for individual use, as they're portable, simple to install, and ideal for generating limited, steady power. Pairing panels with rechargeable power banks or batteries is essential for storing energy when the sun isn't shining. Wind turbines, on the other hand, rely on consistent wind flow and are less practical in areas that don't experience high winds frequently. Hydropower systems are powerful but highly situational, as they demand access to running water bodies, which is not an option for most people. For emergency energy sources, have generators ready. A quality generator running on gasoline, diesel, or propane can supply power to keep critical appliances like freezers, heaters, or medical equipment functional. However, be realistic about fuel dependency. No matter how much fuel you store, there's always a limit, and gasoline and diesel degrade over time. Focus on renewable technology for long-term survival plans instead. Rechargeable systems are especially smart. Think solar generators paired with portable panels, which can provide consistent, eco-friendly energy over time. Additionally, prioritize energy optimization. You don't need to light up your entire house or run every appliance. Stick to the essentials. Every watt counts during grid failure. 2. Fuel storage. Fuel storage is a grim necessity when preparing for the worst outages. While renewables are long-term, stored fuels like propane, diesel, and gasoline remain indispensable as immediate power sources. Generators and heaters will rely on these fuels during the crucial early days of the crisis. The key is having enough supply while avoiding dangerous accumulation. Proper storage starts with high-quality, durable fuel cans. Store gasoline in tightly sealed 5-gallon containers and always rotate your stockpile to ensure freshness. Gasoline becomes stale within 3 to 6 months unless treated with stabilizers, while diesel stores slightly longer, but it's prone to contamination. Honestly, it's high maintenance, but ignoring these rules will leave you with dead stock. Propane offers one major advantage over gasoline and diesel. It doesn't go bad. 20-pound tanks are manageable, durable, and versatile. Use them for cooking, heating, or as a generator fuel source. Invest in appropriate adapters, such as those connecting standard propane tanks to portable heaters like buddy heaters. Familiarize yourself with safe handling procedures to avoid leaks or fires. Additionally, never rely solely on one type of fuel. Stockpiling propane, gasoline, and diesel diversifies your backup energy options, safeguarding against unexpected shortages. One critical warning: do not underestimate the dangers of fuel storage. Fuel is flammable, corrosive, and heavy. Never store it close to living areas. Keep it in detached sheds, garages, or ideally, underground storage tanks. Mark containers clearly to avoid mix-ups, as misusing different fuels can destroy your equipment or worse. Lastly, avoid the trap of hoarding more than you can realistically use. Turn your focus to alternatives that aren't dependent on continual refills. 3. Challenges beyond power. Surviving the biggest power outage in history goes beyond managing energy resources. While energy is critical in the initial phases of grid failure, other challenges become even more pressing as days stretch into weeks and months. Food, water, and safety are non-negotiable survival elements. Without a reliable food supply, starvation will quickly replace power as your priority. Stockpile high-calorie, non-perishable foods such as canned goods, dried fruits, rice, and beans. Equip yourself with manual can openers, airtight bins, and proper storage conditions. Don't forget water. Without electricity, many water pumps stop working. Keep multiple gallons for drinking, cooking, and hygiene needs, and include filters or purification tablets in your survival kit. Safety concerns will escalate in the absence of law enforcement and normal societal order. Looting, theft, and violence become inevitable when resources grow scarce. Your home or shelter might need reinforcement. Think padlocks, barriers, or potentially more serious security measures depending on where you live. Get a solid emergency radio to monitor ongoing developments and warnings, as information and communication often break down in such crises. Stockpile medications and first aid supplies, as medical assistance will be limited or non-existent. Luck plays an undeniable role in survival. Preparedness only takes you so far. You might have the world's best survival cache, but a single act of nature or human aggression can upend it all instantly. Acknowledge this reality and focus on resilience. Your ability to assess, adapt, and make difficult decisions will often matter more than the tools you've stockpiled. Stay flexible, because no plan can anticipate every variable in the chaos of mass power failure. Ultimately, surviving the biggest power outage in history will require more than just supplies. It will demand mental strength, adaptability, and community support. While preparation is critical, remember that resilience and resourcefulness are your greatest tools. By staying calm, thinking strategically, and working together, you can overcome even the toughest challenges. Get ready, stay vigilant, and face the unknown with confidence.